Welcome to DMs with Vusi. Today we got a question from Lira. Lira, she writes, "Hi Vusi, it's Lira. I've noticed that the world has gravitated to internet and social media for business and all. My question, is it better to self-brand on social media or establish a brand?" Thank you so much, Lira, for asking such an amazing question. Yes, I love the fact that as an entrepreneur, you understand that, you know, the business, the now business, everything is based on internet. So as an entrepreneur, it's very important for you to position yourself in that space, right? So firstly, I would like to break your question into two. You asked, you're saying, you like to understand whether it's better for a person to establish themselves as a brand on social media in terms of pushing their social media platform or to establish a brand. I think, Lira, those two things, it's one and the same, right? What do I mean? When you start a brand, right? When you start a brand to say, for example, Voo C Media Group or Vusi the brand, what I'm doing, I'm my own brand, right? And obvious as my own brand, there's a team behind the brand, right? There's a team that shoot, there's a team that put in the hard work to make sure that the brand pops and it's there, it's visible in your eyes, right? Firstly, I think, Lira, you need to understand what is a brand, right? When you understand what is a brand and what a brand does, and then you understand that social media and establishing your brand, it's linked, right? But obvious, a brand has a purpose, first of all, okay? A brand can adapt easily. Example, Vusi. I can have a Vusi soap. I can have a Vusi phone. I can have a Vusi coffee. It's a brand. Vusi is a brand. It has a purpose, right? So firstly, understand what is a brand and understand and define what is the purpose for your brand, okay? Right? And mix your social media. What do I mean? Push your brand and make sure that it's on social platforms, right? So on social platforms, add value, right? Understanding that the content, the way I'm so blessed that the people around me, they are way ahead of the times. And sometimes in terms of the ideas that I throw, they see, okay? Just to give you just to divert a bit clearer. Think about Vusi the brand. We started Vusi the brand about 2 years back or a year and a half. We're in Durban. I was with my colleague, one of our creative junior directors. We threw ideas. I was like, you know what, Hloni, how about we shoot business content where we just put it out there, And he was like, you know what, let's do it. We just picked the camera. We started doing that. The minute we started doing that, the brand was born. As we were doing that, we started defining Vusi the brand. So there's Vusi the brand. Vusi the brand's purpose is to give out information about entrepreneurship. Vusi the brand's purpose is to connect like-minded entrepreneurs, to make them understand how it's like to build scalable business, okay? That's Vusi the brand. So you need to define what your brand is, and once you have defined the purpose of your brand, you create content on different platforms. There's so much platforms. You create content on different platforms that talk about the brand, that entice your followers so that you can get followers, right? And underneath that brand, obviously, you need to have a business model system. Why are you doing it? How are you going to make money? And be real. I look at Vusi the brand, we haven't made cent. We're not driven by money, right? We've given ourselves 3 good years just pushing content, meeting the right-minded people, and we've met the right-minded people that have transformed the businesses that I'm involved, the businesses that, as a business, we are involved in. So that's what you gotta do, Lira. Understand that everything is online. You don't have to be going to see a client. The client, they can look for you online, but your brand needs to have a purpose to say, how am I going to add value? How am I going to be different on these social platforms? How am I going to connect with people? What is it that I can leave an individual when he connects with me. Once you have underlined, or once you have kind of like pinpoint those things, start creating content. Be on TikTok, be on Facebook, be on Twitter, create a podcast, aggregate your podcast, on different platforms. Be on iTunes, be on Spotify. Then you've got a brand. And have that consistency. Engage with people when they comment. Find people that you admire, that add value. You comment on their platforms and link up with them. Use Zoom, for meetings. Use Zoom to record. It's so easy to record your conversations. That's where internet, or that's what this pandemic has done. It has transformed businesses quickly to beyond the digital. You ask my grandmother, who's 65 years old, she knows, with her sewing business, she's got to play that game, digital. She's got to have a smartphone. Her WhatsApp needs to add value. So imagine about you, Lira, a youngster like you. There's so much that you can offer. So I hope this episode, Lira, of the DM added value to you, and it left you with something that you can do as a homework and transform your brand and start your brand. Thank you so much for watching this episode of DM. Don't forget to follow us on all of our social platforms. Peace. We out. Woo!